many of my areas and everywhere around the world. That's the spirit of Faro. Also, I'm very happy to be joining the Faro Barcelona family. Many of you know I come from a lighting background, so let's see if I don't mess it up a lot this webinar. And as you know, as I was saying, any questions you have, please put it in the questions Q&A, and Shiomara, our colleague, will be answering them. So, well, let's get into the webinar. I did a very good introduction. I'll be talking about surface, recessed, floor, spike and bollards, floor also recessed and surface. So all the applications that we can use, mainly this webinar was thought for gardens, villas, in private residences, rooftops, staircases, walkways. I mean, we're not doing a seminar about outdoor of these big places like hotels, resorts in front of the beach. So that's totally another type of outdoor. Even if many of our items we can use them there, we're not using big, huge 2 meters luminaires or big things that we can put in front of the beach or in big areas. We're just focusing on small villas, houses, gardens, and I said some rooftops, maybe also for restaurants they can be useful. So let's go for it. Then the idea of these webinars, as you know, is to learn all together because of the situation around the world. As area managers, we can't be with you, we can't visit you, we can't go to interior designers, lighting designers, distributors. So in the end, I see that in the attendees, there's a mix of everything. Let's work together to make the best decisions and selections of the products that we have in the catalog. As you know, we have a very big catalog, a very wide range of products, indoor, bathroom, outdoor. So the important thing is to make a good decision and then be happy with the result. And yeah, let's hope to buy again, of course. So before starting, I would like to just remark 5 points before going directly into the surface. So for me, it's very important when they told me to do this webinar, it's very important to decide, because of my experience talking to designers mainly and lighting says, so what do you want to do? Do you want to see the luminaire? Do you want it to stand out as a decorative item, or do you want it to be hidden? So that is the first point you have to know to make a good decision on the luminaire, on the item we are choosing from the catalog to be installed. So design and functionality are 2 different ways. They can be at the same time in the same place, but sometimes we have to decide, because sometimes we have simple designs or very nice designs, and then what do you want? Functionality, material, shapes, aesthetic, something simple. So that's the first decision we need to make. Also with standing out or being more hidden in the bushes or in the garden. Also the installation, please, we always ask to follow the instruction sheets, be there with the installers, contractors, because everything is, we have all the information for you. You can always ask us and we'll send it again. It's on our website. But the installation sheets and technical sheets are very important, because we've in the last years we've seen that many of the problems, also in my past experience with other companies, lighting companies, the most of the problems come from installation. Of course, we have very good warranty, we cover all the warranties, but installation is very important. Also for how the luminaire will work and the performance of it when we install it, not only also because it conks out or it doesn't work, also because of the performance. That's very important. And also, again, sometimes we need to remind architects and contractors to remember of the light. Sometimes the light is planned at the end. So that means, oh, what am I going to do with the light? So we have to help them to think about lighting as something very important, because there's nothing worse than having a nice villa, a nice house, a nice place that an architect has been working on, and then it's poorly illuminated. That's really sad sometimes. So we need to tell them the importance of lighting. All of us here are experts in lighting, so we have to give them our knowledge and help to select the best luminaires. And also, in this case, what we're talking about is, are they going to do a concrete wall? Are they going to do a wood floor? So that's very important to know and to be prepared, so we can also choose the luminaires in that sense, because we can't put some luminaires when the concrete walls are already done or the floor is already done. So we need to plan that ahead and help them and remind them that that needs to be planned again, same as other items that are done in projects. And also I wanted to remind you that lately the designs are changing. So now most of our items that we're doing outdoor, we're very surprised that they can also be used indoor. So we are helping a lot, and we are telling people, why don't you use outdoor, indoors, inside? or because of the design, because of their decorative, also on those middle areas, you know, in a villa between the swimming pool and the kitchen, or in the swimming pool and the middle area, which is not inside, not outside, we don't know what to put. Some of the outdoor items can also be installed there. So those middle areas, halfway areas that we call them, are also very important, and they can have a great effect with the outdoor lighting there. So as you know, let's go into business. We selected some items in the 4 different categories that we decided today. We decided the items from a wide range of items that we have. You know that our catalog is huge. So we just wanted to highlight some of them, which we think that can be an example for all the other luminaires that we have in the catalog. Mainly we've decided to get all the asymmetric lighting, 45 degrees more or less. And for me, at least, and what we think the most important thing is that we never have glare. Glare is the worst thing you can find in outdoor when you're walking on a pathway or you're going somewhere and your glare. That's one of the worst things that it can happen to you and also to a project. And the light contamination, of course, we're in a world where people are ecologic, and also the light contamination is very important. So we also have to take that into consideration. So when we go to surface, let's do the first surface items. Those items in surface are normally installed in walkways, low walls, stairs, or high walls also, but mainly medium and small walls, and also staircases, mainly to mark our way. That's the most important thing. These are normally small to medium items, which are normally used to mark the way where we're going to go, the pathway. So, for example, what we normally decide and tell the people is to at least use 30 centimeters between the ground and the luminaire on the wall. That's what we normally tell the people. That's the best solution, that the best light output that you will have both on the floor, and sometimes depending on the item, you can also have the light output also on the wall, like a wall washer. So those 30 centimeters, we think is the perfect height for them to be installed. The distance between the lights, when we're talking horizontally, for example, on a wall, that's something very different. It depends on the light and on the item and how much light we want, the lumen. So in that case, we maybe have to be a little bit more specific and have the lighting designer help us with this. But we can also help you in that sense. You know, we have a project team that we can also help you with those type of projects. For example, let's get an example. Let's get started with the dark. For example, this new item. For example, this item, we normally say we recommend 2.5 meters from one to another, where we're talking horizontally on a wall, 2.5 meters away, one from another. This one, for example, that's a nice wall feature on the wall and also on the ground. As you can see, this item we're putting in surface mounted, but as you'll see later, it can also be recessed inside of a box. You can see it's a very warm light, 2,700 kelvins, low lumens, but a really good IP65, comes in 2 colors, and then also I must say it's square and horizontal. Here have we do 2 examples. The boxes is also in another color. I would also want to remark that on the top here, left side of the screen, you can see all models here. That's because mainly we do families. So then we're going to share this presentation with you. If you click on the top corner on the left, you'll be able to redirect yourself, where you redirect to our website, to the specific page of the items that you can select. And of course, you know, in our website, you can download all the different technical sheets that you need, or any information, 3D files, etc. So we're talking now about the Drak. This is a totally different item. This is as we were saying, this is not like the dark that is more useful with functionality. This is total ambience design decorative item. As you may see, it's made out of brass, which is something that is really good lately, and it's really well gotten by the designers. They're very happy with it. It's something that is trendy at the moment. Just a couple of considerations: seaside suitable, those items that can be installed in front of the seat, mainly for resorts. At least here in Asia, that's something we really appreciate, and clients really appreciate, something that can be in front of the sea for many years, working, not getting rusted because of the sea salt, because of the wind, because of the heat, everything. everything. Also the sun directly to it. So it's very important. The brass, we've seen that it's a very resisting material. That's why we're making brass, and we also see in the presentation we also do concrete, which is also a very good characteristic material for this type of installations in those places that we need in front of the sea. You can see here it has a minimum lumen output of 160, 3000 Kelvin, very warm light. This is like a point light. Just to let you know, this type of items made out of brass, you need to clean them, because sometimes people, oh my God, but they are becoming a little bit black, greenish, mainly green. Just with a cloth, a little bit of water, it goes out. But brass normally tends to change color with time. And it's also one of the nice things, the nice characteristics about this item. Now we go to the must. The must is one of the best sellers of the company. 3 sizes that we have. Again, if you want to click up there when you have the presentation, 3 different sizes, normally all rectangular or more square. IP65, again, same seaside suitable with the ABS type of finish, very resistant. Again, all the hazardous ambiances that you may have in your area all around the world. And then we go to the Grand. Let's go back to a more functionality type of item. Again, also IP65 and seaside suitable. This item we only have in 1 color, but the good thing about it is that we have it in round and in square. So that's also very, very important. Then we go to recessed. Very important to differ. So what's the difference between installing in surface and recessed? It depends on taste. Like everything in life, everything depends in taste. If you ask me, I will say recessed. If you ask other people, surface, installation-wise, surface be easier. It depends. Again, it's because of the design, the lumen output, but it also becomes with the installation. What I was talking about at the beginning, if you remember, the importance of telling the architects when they're doing the layouts or the designers, the importance of calculating where the light is going to be from the beginning, because then we won't have problems. Because imagine, again, we do a concrete wall, we're not going to be able to recess it, or it's going to be more expensive for the contractor. So that's more expense for the project. Same as no good. People always want cheap installations, cheap. So we give them a really good product with a really competitive price. Now we don't need to do it badly in that sense. So that's very important to make sure. So let's go with the recessed items. Again, different sizes, colors, finishes, design. For example, this item here, the dart, total design. It's a point light. You will see that it only has 70 lumen and very warm with 2700 Kelvin. Again, it comes with a box, so you can also do it recessed. Surface mounted, and in the box to do it recessed inside. So it's the same characteristics more or less as the dart, which we saw horizontally as surface mounted. If we go to the sound, then we go into another category of item, as you can see, bigger, with a glass, opal glass in it, that it makes it also a very nice light with a little bit more of lumens, and it's also very nice on the wall. More light, IP65, a very good IQ06, and again in 2 different colors. When we come to the Sedna, this is an item that we can use mainly in, I would say that we can use mainly in staircases. Again, it's a point light that we were saying in the dark. The dart is mainly more or less for pathways. I would say this one is more for a staircase, as we can see in the picture we have on the right side of the screen. Again, IP65, most of our items are IP65, as you are seeing, really good resistant, so the water doesn't go in. Very well sealed items, as you already know. The nut, well, what I'm going to say about the nut is the best seller of the company at the moment. As you can see, it has a bigger lumen output. It can be installed in the wall, as you can see, but this item, the nice thing that it has, some of the other items I was showing you on the surface, is because of this lumen output it has and the wattage. It also wall washes downwards the wall, the wall that you have here, the medium wall, and also the ground. So this is when you want to make a wall and the pathway more interesting. So you want to really see it. It's a place where many people are going through at some point. So there is an example of a bigger one than the other point lighting that we were looking at the beginning. And then the gallo. The gallo is a very similar item as the dart that we were seeing at the moment, also squared, and these are point lightings. These two items are a perfect example of what I was saying before of installation midway. Not exterior, not interior, we're in the middle there, those areas, you know, maybe where you have the barbecue, maybe where there is the ping pong table place, or I don't know, some where you want to rest in the afternoons in front of the villa, then those are perfect for halfway areas in the house. So now we're going to a totally different area, installation, sorry, application of the items, which is the floor. In this case, there's going to be no wall. Normally, sometimes there's also a wall, and you can also do a wall washer, but normally we don't use these items here. And this is where we have a pathway and we have some vegetation around. The most important thing when we do an installation on the floor is the glare. Again, I insist on the glare. You don't want to go through a pathway and look down and have all the light in your eyes and be blind for some seconds. It's not nice. So in this, we must say again, pathway, this can be installed both in the middle of the pathway or in the sides of the pathway. That's totally up to the layout you want to do. So it can be on the side or in the middle, totally up to the designer. In this case, I'm going to put just two very simple examples, like we're using here the Crosby. The Crosby is very important for us, very useful item. It can be installed in many places, as you can see here. It can be installed on the floor. It can be installed in the middle of the pebbles that we're seeing on the stones, inside of a bush. And it's multi-voltage. That's something very interesting for us because we're selling in many countries of the world, South America, Japan, 110 volt. 220 volt in many of the other countries, and we also have the option of 24 volts. It comes with an opal glass, and of course, as I say, no glare. So we have to understand this item as, you know, those items we normally see when we go to a cinema, to the movie theater, and you're going where to go to find your chair, your row number. Those are normally the lights. That's why we can say they're very similar as those lights. Just points that we just follow to go to our destination. Important that it's IP67 seaside suitable, again in these cases, so it can be installed in front of the sea. And I want to remark also the IK08. I mean, you can go over it, step on it, won't break. All the tests are passed for this. 85 lumen, as I was saying, sorry, 77 lumen, as I was saying, very low lumen, as again, a point light that we need in a pathway. We have two options, 6,000 and 3,000 Kelvin. Again, you can see all the models on the top right corner. 316 stainless steel. I know that all, at least here in Asia, everybody asks for 316 stainless steel, seaside suitable IP67. That's something that is really asked by designers. So then we come to the Kane, how we say it in Spain, depends on the pronunciation. Again, this is more light. This is more light. This light is directed to the path or directed to the vegetation. So in this case, it's a better illumination. That's where we want something more than a point that we have to follow on a pathway. In this case, we have the example here of one light, but at the bottom left corner, you can see one light, two lights, three lights. The installation can be on the ground, or as you can see on the right side, you can also be installed on the wall, recessed on the wall. That's also a very good installation. Also as a path or as a staircase, they can be installed only with one light. I would recommend two lights. It wouldn't make sense. It's an up and down light, but then you won't get enough light to see up the wall if it's a very high wall. So normally you would only use one light down to do a very nice wall wash. Again, we recommend to do 30 centimeters installation from the floor on the wall. So there's different. The important thing here is the different installation that we see very clearly here. That's in the pebbles. That's where the floor is IP, or for example, in this case, on the pebbles, that means it's stone slats that we're seeing here, synthetic slats. You don't need a recessed box, or wood slats. You don't need it. The item is already well sealed, and we don't need any of that installation box. But for example, if you want to recess it into concrete, tiles, cement, or any other type of finish or material, or continuous pavement, for example, we totally recommend the embedding box that comes with the item. So it's here again the Kane that I was saying before. And please, also another advice that I always like to say, important, never install this type of lighting direct to earth. That's very important, or in a built-in box, because it's not safe. So I will totally recommend to use a good installation. Don't do it with direct to earth. Please get the cables right. That's very important. So to the last type of installation, materials, items, luminaires that we have in the catalog and we're going to present today, spikes and bollards. Again, if you have any question, remember that in the questions on the right side, you can do any question that you have, anything, and we can resolve it at the end, giving you some answers with Xiomara, or again, you can also contact all of us, depending on who your area manager is.
Javier, I'm answering some of the questions. I don't know if everybody knows about that, but just feel free to place any questions. I'm here just answering you all, so just keep on going. Sorry, Javier.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Shimon.
That's a good thing. Like attendance is very active today. Like a lot of questions are being asked, so that's a good thing that we're going to answer to you as best as we can, and we're going to send you emails. Just one thing, I think someone's asking about the Kane, if you can drive it over with a car. I think it's specified. If you just can go back one slide, it's like 1,000 kilos. So yes,
that's it. So keep on asking.
Yes,
please.
That's why we're here, to resolve and to help you. 1,000 kilos. Yeah. So I don't know. Here in Asia, we can cars, elephants, whatever can go on top of. I don't know how much an elephant is. I don't know how many tons they are.
Whatever is your local fauna and flora.
Anyway, let's go to the spikes. Come on, let's not go into through the branches. This is a totally different solution. Doesn't go on the wall, and you don't want to recess anything on the floor. Easy installation, ground spike. You just nail it to the floor. We give the spike already with the item. As we say, plug and play solution. It's easy to use. The easy installation, it has some tricks also. Of course, again, we have to insist in the connectivity. For example, we recommend, and it's very useful in these cases, the series connection with an IP68 connection box. That means it's a T-shaped box that allows the connection with 3 cables, and the waterproof way. So that means with only one electrical outlet, we can connect the different stakes that we need. That makes that very useful, and also you don't have cables everywhere in the garden, and that makes it much nicer. Also, the view of the garden. So here we go. Let's start with the flow. The flow is one of the most typical spotlights that we have, spike spotlight that we have on the catalog. In this case, we have 2 types of installation, which is also on the wall, but we're going to focus now, as we say, on the spike. 2 different colors, in beige and black, so they can go inside. If you want to put it in beige, you can put it inside of the vegetation, in black also inside the vegetation. So in this case, we're talking about the importance of the light, not of the item itself as a decorative item that wants to stand out. Important, it's steerable. That's very important. So you can give it different type of positions, different type of ways that we want to move it, what we want to highlight. And then it's G10. That's very helpful. We're not going to put a 3,000, 4,000, 2,700 Kelvin LED COP. So then you have a G10, you can change it. That helps you decide the degrees that you want and the warmth of the light. So it comes with a 60 meter, it has a spike accessory of 60 centimeters. Meters will be too much. And it's also seaside suitable. And again, directly illuminates something. You don't want any glare in this case. So you want to illuminate the tree, the bush, something decorative that we have in the villa, in the garden, in the staircase, in the gardens. And yeah, as I said, we have an extra pole. When we go to this item here, Toni, it's very similar to the other. The other one is more round. In this case, it's more cylindrical again, but it has the same type of characteristics. IP65 wall and spike installation, both are available, and seaside suitable again For those that want to install it in front of the beach, we have a villa, we have a private house in front of the beach, and these are totally suitable for those conditions. Again, this is to highlight something. So highlight a bush, highlight a decorative item, a palm tree, or something that we really want to remark in the area we're doing the project in. Piccolo, that's something totally different. In this case, we're giving a 360 lighting lumen output of 360 lumen. You'll see it's quite low, and a 2700 Kelvin. So it's a very warm light. In this case, we're working a lot with the opal PMMA. We have a very nice light here that we can put on the side of the pathways mainly, or you can put it in an open area in the middle of the garden, on the side of the garden, to make the area bigger. So in this case, when you put this type of antennas, it gives a sensation of big at night, a sensation of amplitude that we can say around light. So this is very nice, 60 centimeters high. That means it's not going to glare. It's always going to be under our height, under our eyes. So it's a very good item to install in gardens. And then we go to the Seth. Again, highlighting the bushes. In this case, it's a very, very small item. Also to highlight, but same characteristics again. Just put it there. You want to highlight something very small. In this item, for example, we're seeing how it's highlighting a bush. In these cases, it comes with a 2-meter cable already installed. So it's a very good item for those simple things that we want to highlight in smaller areas of the garden. And then we're going to finish with the beacon, bollards, however how you want to mention it. And this is another, again, we're going from recessed surface, small items that we don't want to see a lot. Here we're seeing items, they are the star of the installation. They are the ones that have more power in the light, more light output, more lumen output, and here is more aesthetic and design and important to the eyes and to the view of the people when they're going to that area. Near to the swimming pools, again, staircases, pathways to go to the beach from a villa, sideways, anywhere you can install bollards. They've always been in the market, but in this case, we're going to show you 3 items that are totally different, total design. In this case, we had the Design Award 2019. For the Lotus, it comes in 2 sizes, IP65, very, very, very nice design with a big lumen output of 1120 lumen, CRI 80. Very nice item and very unique design from Faro. Again, same. I really like this item. It really stands out by itself. It gives you a round out, more 360 ambience lighting with those changing the lights with those items that it has on the top. And it has a lumen output, a lower lumen output in this sense, because again, I was saying this item is the star of where you're going to install it. It's a totally different bollard than the normal that we've seen all the life, which is black, and on the top is the light. The light comes from the upper part, then on a LED cop, 10 watt, and it goes down and it reflects on the sides of the item. And then to finish, as I was saying before, brass and concrete are also the most important finishes that we're seeing, at least in the Asia Pacific area, when it comes to install things near the sea. Very resistant against saltiness, against the wind, against heat, direct sun, everything. So it's seaside suitable, IP65. It comes in 2 sizes. Again, sorry, like the twist before, 2 sizes. And it gives you a very good functionality. You can install it again in staircases, paths. So this type of bollards, as you can see, are unique designs and something very special that you can make a difference in your project. So that's everything I wanted to show you. Now I let Laia finish the webinar. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you liked it, that you follow us in all the social media. And well, thank you very much and see you soon.
Thank you, Javier. That was lovely. I think by the number of questions we had, it was quite a successful webinar. So please be quiet. Hang on with us. We're going to answer to all of you. Some questions we need to check with our colleagues from product department, and some others we're already answering to you through the answer section of this program. So we leave you some links here, as you might see, related to outdoor luminaire. Don't worry, you might see that there is like a part which is written handout in your panel control. My colleague Jennifer already posted the presentation, okay, by PDF, but we are going to send it over to you by email. So it's going to be sent through the GoToWebinar by the email of my colleague Jennifer Nieto. So pay attention about that. You're going to receive the PDF and also the recorded version. So please don't leave yet, because we have a last surprise for you. We want actually you to decide more or less which is going to be our next subject of the webinar. So my colleague is going to send a poll that you might just see here around. So we were like hesitating between fans, ventilation, and 2020 novelties. Okay, so if there is any one of the other that you would rather prefer, just like please vote for one of the options. And if is there any other kind of subject you're interested to, just write it down in the answers or send us an email. Okay, so as it's quite new, I'm going to try to see. Ooh, I think novelties are winning as far as we're going, and people are picking a lot. So please, just like
competition here.
the option that you think is better.
Can I play? Can I play?
Yes, you can play. I don't think if I can play actually.
No, we can. We can, Laya. So novelties are winning.
Yeah, novelties are winning. Guys, think about fans though, because a lot of you, I'm not talking about experience in my market. Fans are not something that comes to mind, but it's very decorative item also, and something that has a lot of technical features, and it might be interesting also to talk about that, but we will have time. So I think
we have a winner.
Yeah, we do have a winner. So I think next webinar is going to be on the novelties of this year, because the problem is that we couldn't present them at Light and Building or the other fairs that we had in mind, and I think we won't be able to do that for a while. So we're going to use the tools that we have, which are online, and present it to you. So if you guys, I think that's all. Do not hesitate to send us an email to Javier, Xiomara, or myself, or any of your area managers that are here attending also today. So you see all our email addresses on the screen right now. And again, thank you all for joining us. Here you have the results. So it's going to be Novelties 2020. And we are waiting for you next Wednesday at 11 also. Okay, guys.
Okay, stay tuned. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Have a nice week, all of you. Bye-bye. See you guys next week.
See you next week.